Let's get back to that breaking news in Kalamazoo right now. A public safety officer dead, shot and killed of duty. The suspect, also 24-hour News 8's Tony Talavia, is at the scene right now. Tony, can you fill us in on exactly what you know at this point?
Good morning, Brett. Investigators are still on scene. Our crews have seen them out here looking for evidence for the past few hours. You can see their floodlights on the streets. Here is what Kalamazoo Public Safety investigators are telling us based on their preliminary investigation. They say officers were called here to the 1400 Park Avenue to investigate a report that gunshots were fired. They say officers approached a man on his porch. They asked him if he'd seen any gunshots, but the department says that man advanced towards an officer and he and the officer exchanged gunfire. The department says the man then ran away and then confronted another officer. That's the officer who the department says the man shot and killed. The department says that suspect, a 31-year-old Kalamazoo man, died on the scene apparently of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. We spoke just a few minutes ago with a man who says he knows that suspect, known him for 25+ years.
I don't know what draw him to do this today, but this is nothing like him, though. I can tell you that. Nothing like him.
Investigators have not named that suspect. They have not identified the officer. We will continue to stay in touch with those investigators, both at the department headquarters and here on scene. Live in Kalamazoo, Tony Talavia, 24-hour News 8.
Thank you, Tony. And here's a timeline of the events and how they unfolded last night. The first call about shots fired came in at 11:18. That's when the first officer approached the man on the porch, asking if he'd heard gunfire. And that's when the suspect leveled the gun at the officer, and a short gunfight erupted. The suspect bolted. That's according to police. Well, seconds later, he ran into a second officer and shot him. That officer died. The suspect was then found with a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
This is the first deadly shooting of a West Michigan police officer in nearly 4 years. The last happened in the summer of 2007 when Grand Rapids police officer Robert Kosminski was killed while responding to a domestic complaint on Emerald Northeast. Jeffrey Van Vels was lying in wait for officers when they showed up. He fired a shotgun blast through his garage window, hitting Kosminski. He died shortly after that shooting. Officers from around the state and even around the country turned out for that funeral. Van Vels was convicted of the shooting and is currently serving a mandatory life sentence in a state prison.
As this story continues to develop throughout the morning, we'll be keeping you updated. Right now, we have 3 crews in Kalamazoo, all learning as much as they can about the situation there. We also have a comprehensive story online right now at woodtv.com. Stay with us as we continue to develop and learn more about this story.